Well, here we are in this glorious vista where Karen had sent me that amazing video a couple of videos ago. Like, I think it's third back in the sequence because we've had two since. And you were sharing from your favorite place here in Encinitas.
Yeah.
Your story of awakening, your story of your cancer journey, and then
My
sharing.
tumor journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't think
Sorry, a sharing of the tumor journey. Okay. And it was, and how you were feeling kind of reminded and reawakened because in the videos that you were watching. And so this sequence is, I really want people to know your journey. You know, I think they know my journey right now, but I want them to know your story and how you've processed through it, because it is just, like when I was listening to this podcast coming over here, Michel, the one that you did, you know, with your colleague in South Africa, Cape Town.
Yeah.
Which by the way, is I'm from Cape Town, so I'm thinking
Right,
about
yeah.
that's a synchronicity in of itself. I mean, it's like a synchronicity within a synchronicity within a
Yeah.
synchronicity.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was just so struck by what you were saying was so connected to everything we're going through right now.
That's right.
In this, you know, and when we're talking about our version of this is living well from within,
Yeah.
but these 5 principles you have could easily be the founding principles of this channel.
Yeah.
So it's your way of expressing it. So where I'd like to invite you to begin is, Karen, would you be willing to share, I mean, your life changed in 2011. Your life changed dramatically, and as a result, you didn't walk through this journey into tumor alone. You brought your entire family with you.
Yeah.
And that changed your life, Michel.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So bring
Yeah,
us.
and Our kids were only 1 and 2
Yeah.
when this all went down, so that was a huge motivation. You know, after having lived a beautiful life, I was like, okay, if it's my time, it's my time, but I got these 2 little babies I got to take care of, so they were really my motivation to stay around. But yeah, July 2011, and I had been having this tingling down my face once a month. The doctor was like, well, it could be a virus. I was going to the chiropractor. The chiropractor wasn't helping, and he said, you know, you might want to get a brain scan. So I did, and I was in Pier 1. Very distinctly remember every moment of this, and shopping for furniture for our office, and the doctor called, and she's like, do you have a moment? And you can hear that tone in the voice, and I'm like, oh, hang on one second. I had to find that plush couch to sit down and like gather my thoughts, and she said they found a spot, and the fear and anxiety that comes up when you hear that. And I went home, right to our office right away, and I had to tell you, and we just huddled together and cried. And
Well, they told us to see a neurosurgeon the next morning.
So
when a doctor tells you that you need to see a specialist within 24 hours, you know.
Scary.
Yeah.
And so he's very good at keeping me distracted, so we had to do something and to keep my mind off of it, and so we went to Home Depot, like most people would do, right? And just to get our mind off of it. And we're sitting in the parking lot, and I look up, and I've always said God speaks to me in license plates. And I look up, and I see the license plate, NO space WORRE, no worry. And we looked at each other, we're like, okay, we're not supposed to worry about this. And the synchronicities of license plates in my life are incredible, especially during that first 6 months. I was seeing have faith, all is one, God bless, like 5 a day. I would see these insane license plates, and so God was constantly talking to me.
You see what you're looking for.
Yeah, you
see what you're looking for.
And we call them God winks, and that's my license plate now. So, so people.
I was saying, what the hell is that? That was amazing. That's amazing.
God winks. So these are little God winks in the world.
Yeah.
And gosh, so going through this journey, I mean, it's been, I love hearing about your dream teams. Going and doing all the more Western stuff that you've got to do, and then also diving into the more Eastern spiritual things. My Ayurvedic doctor's been huge. All the energy work and breath work, and
at the end of the day, I think what's the most important is that we didn't know what Karen's tumor was, and to this day we don't know. We know that it's there, but at that time we didn't know how malignant or benign or nasty it was, and so we had to move forward sort of assuming the possibility of the worst, but hoping for the best. And that's a lot of how we chose to live our life. When the time is right, I'll go into that. But there was a lot of it was a mental game to try to change the mindset of the not knowingness.
Because there's so much fear. I mean, especially with babies. I had toddlers, and so the radiation brain surgery actually caused trigeminal neuralgia. They kind of fried my trigeminal nerve, which has been the worst of my experience. So for a good 5 years, I was in massive pain and on drugs. I had never taken an aspirin before this experience. And so all of a sudden, I was really reliant on those drugs, and I had doctors telling me I'd be on those forever, I'd live with the tumor forever, and I'd be in pain forever. And I was like, this is not my experience.
Not my story.
La 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 la, don't put these things into my mind. So I was determined to get off of the drugs and to get out of the pain. I mean, thank God for Western medicine, because I was able to function during those years, especially with little toddlers who get on your nerves so much. But I for the last almost 5 years now, I have been completely drug-free.
Completely drug-free.
Yeah, so I had to wean myself off, but
there's a massive power to the power of positive thinking. And manifesting the life that you want to have. And we are realists. We understand sometimes there's news, sometimes there's data, and we have found that there's tremendous power in just saying that's not my story.
So you created a new story, and there was an inflection point where these 5 principles arrived into your life. Can you first of all share how those 5 principles, did they arrive like a bolt of lightning, or did they arrive like piecemeal assembling? Somehow there was an evolution of these principles. And then I'd love you to share, from 1 through 5, what those principles are that guided your process.
So over the course of the first year or 2 of dealing with Karen's diagnoses, it really impacted the way that we look at life and the choices that we made as a family. And it's with the benefit of hindsight that I've been able to really distill them down to the 5 things that we were doing. To put it in context, at the time, life was fantastic. We believed ourselves to be healthy. The business was taking off. We were new parents. Like, you rate yourself on a scale and you're thinking, God, I want to pinch myself. Life is so good. And then something hits you, and you never know. And that's what swung us into action. So the 5 principles that we applied right away are, number 1, it was family first. Family first became our most important thing, and it didn't matter that the business was soaring. It didn't matter we were on the Inc. list. It didn't matter whatever. It was family first. That was our connection. The second thing was making extraordinary choices in life. Any opportunity that we had to make a choice, there was sort of like the ordinary, mundane, boring choice, and there was the extraordinary choice, and we defaulted to extraordinary. That comes from a sense of timeliness, right? Breadcrumbs was the third one. It was a decision to say we need to leave written legacy, video legacy, email legacy, whatever it happens to be, the breadcrumbs for the future generation, for our family, for our community, for the world. And some of that is because I didn't have that from my own family, having lost my father. The fourth one was living healthy, truly living healthy, because the reality was we were okay, but I wasn't as healthy as I needed to be. And I had to face the reality that Karen might not be there. And if Karen wasn't going to be there, then I had to be healthy for our daughters. So that's when I started running and eating right and really paying attention to it, is when my health ended up not being about me, the selfish attitude. It ended up being about someone else. Like, of course I have to do it for them. And then the fifth one was just gratitude. Gratitude for everything. Gratitude for the sun, gratitude for life, gratitude for every day. And I'm going to pass back to Karen because...
But before you pass back
okay, then I won't pass back
Okay.
yet. You
All right.
tell me when to pass
because
back.
I want you to flesh. I want you to flesh.
Okay,
and
you got it.
And I just want, every one of those 5 principles, I connect with. We connect with.
Yes.
In our,
Yes.
Well,
100%.
In our family.
Yes.
And I'm happy to speak about that to that, Michel, because for our family,
Yes.
I want to thank you
Yes.
for putting a framework around what
Yes.
we're already living.
Yes.
So for our family,
That's it.
our family comes first, and
Yes.
and when I look at this, it's Sue is my inner core.
Yeah.
Sue and my boys, Zach and Dole,
Yeah.
are the inner core of our family. But then I also look at my next circle,
Yeah.
the family of extraordinary friends that I have,
Yeah.
my extraordinary clients, the larger global community. It's in fact, when I'm in a cycle of receiving and giving love as intensely as I'm feeling right now,
Yes.
I have no strangers in my life.
Right.
I'm connected with everyone.
We're all one.
But if it comes to a moment of
Yeah.
prioritizing a video versus my family,
Right.
I'm going to choose my family.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's the right choice.
Yeah. So that's, and we are making extraordinary choices ourselves.
You are.
We've reprioritized our life so we can live the passion of our life
Yeah.
right now how we want to.
That's right.
So we're planning things.
Good.
The third principle
Uh-huh.
is leaving breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs.
So, yeah,
And
exactly.
you're doing
exactly.
it. It's right here.
It's right here, right now.
Right here,
and
right now.
So I want.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
No. I'm not going. I'm not jumping in. This is their moment. I'm not going to jump in.
There's a lot of
No. It's okay. So but I'm only sharing this because I want to thank you for adding to our breadcrumbs, because that's what you're doing. You're adding to our breadcrumbs. So I'm not leaving these breadcrumbs alone. I'm only adding. The richness of this is because of the breadcrumbs of the extraordinary people
Yes.
that are contributing to this channel that allows me to relieve a much richer density
That's it.
of breadcrumbs
Yeah.
than I could do alone,
Yeah.
than our family could do alone.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit more specifically about
Okay.
the breadcrumbs that
Okay.
you've left,
Okay.
and then we'll thread through number 4 and 5. Number 4, and
Yeah,
we'll get to
sure.
5. So what were some of the breadcrumbs that you've left? Yeah.
So in terms of breadcrumbs, I believe in the 10-10-10 process that you've spoken about. I got super dedicated to that. I journal every day, and I journal every day for my daughters.
Actually,
Yes.
Can you just? I think we need to unpack the 10-10-10.
Sure.
Just a brief minute on
Sure.
it, because not everybody's listened to every video that's
That's fine.
preceded.
Okay, so let me
and this is, I just want to kind of say, this
Yeah.
is an entrepreneur's organization, ritual, that was offered through the great wisdom of Warren Russell.
Warren Rustin, absolutely, 100%. So
And Warren is I just want to kind of say, Warren Standing is
dean.
the dean of the Leadership Academy.
That's right.
And he happened to be President Ford's. He held President Ford's schedule.
calendar and schedule. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So my alarm on my phone when I wake up in the morning asks me one question every day: why am I alive today? Why am I alive today? So I like to plant that as the first thing. And then it's 10 minutes of reading something inspirational, and then 10 minutes of thinking great thoughts or things that would be inspirational, and then 10 minutes of writing or journaling. So for me, that's 1 page a day. I have these beautiful leather-bound journals that I write as if I'm speaking to my daughters, and I know that someday they will get these journals. And in them, I can be very vulnerable, and I can be very, I can talk about what's actually happening in first person present tense, and not feel bad that I'm going to be judged, because by the time someone reads them, I'm going to be gone. So that's okay. So I can actually be really authentic and vulnerable in the moment in those. So so that's my journaling practice. Separately, we've set up email accounts for the girls, and we send emails to those. Hopefully the girls don't see this video, but someday they will get access to those emails. This is a special email that they do not have access to, that they will only get at some life event in the future that we send stuff into.
Can you
And
give
then-
us a texture of like,
Yeah.
because you were saying, give us a texture that you're at a soccer game.
Yeah.
Like what are some of those emails that you do? Because you're doing real time.
Yeah, in the moment, real time. Like, sweetheart, it's amazing that you just scored that goal, and your power and your persistence was incredible, and, I just want you to appreciate how much, I loved witnessing that and seeing this and keep that drive going. And if you have that conversation with an 8-year-old now, realistically, it's going to go in 1 year, out the other year, whatever, but to record it and have it and to send it to them, then for them to have that as a nugget, we believe that
proud
there will
we
be a
are of
magical
them.
time in the future.
Yeah.
Right, at the unveiling
Yeah,
of that.
maybe it's when they turn 18 or
Get married, or
Amazing.
someday if we're gone.
It's
Right,
amazing.
the plane
It's
goes
just-
down. And then because I'm an app developer, I took it to an extreme level. I'm like you, Daniel. Like, I take things to the extreme. And I'm also an art major. So between being an app developer and coming from an art perspective, I asked myself, what would it be like if I were not actually gone someday when I'm gone? And what I did is I created an app where I've recorded hundreds and hundreds of messages that I believe are how to live a successful life. And the purpose is for my daughters to have access to this app after I'm gone. Like, every day they can launch this app and get 5 minutes of wisdom in Dad's voice on their phone. And it pulls 3 messages randomly. But I believe that the universe pulls exactly the messages that they need to hear on that given day. So I took the time to write them and to go into the studio and to create this framework.
Okay,
And
It's
So
like a coaching app.
it's like a coaching app.
It's like a coaching
So
app, yeah.
every
And-
single person watching this video
Yeah.
wants to know.
yeah,
They're super inspired.
yeah.
They want to know,
Yeah.
is this app currently available and how they can download it?
Sure. So look, it's available. If you're interested in my version of how to live a successful life, by all means, feel free to download it. It's called Mindset for Success. It's on the App Store. I just want to be clear. I did this for me. I did this for Karen. I did this for the family. And if others find
But it's
usefulness out of it, then
brilliant.
fantastic.
It's
both of
See,
you.
no,
Fantastic.
He's
Right.
living small right now.
But both of you have got to live loud and proud.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just really ask,
Yeah.
for all of you
Yeah.
to, download that app and to actually allow yourself to be elevated by the glory of these 2 extraordinary individuals. And so I want to stand, in some small measure, as the wings beneath your wings, doing the glorious work of elevation in the world. So, Michel, I know that you've done this for your daughters first, and that's
Yeah.
being going back to your first principle.
Right.
But you're also doing this, the amount of value that this would have to the world is, I would imagine, immeasurable. So,
Yeah.
Beautiful words of
Well-
wisdom. It reminds me of like Dad's little instruction book that was really popular when I was a kid, and then we've taken that architecture. Do you want to? I was going to say we've taken that architecture of that app and we've brought it to best-selling authors who have done their own apps and shared their special tips. And I've created 2 myself. One is manifesting your soulmate. It's all beautiful tips to help bring more love into your life, and then manifesting perfect wellness, which is all about manifesting your perfect health.
now are those 2 apps as well?
They're
Yeah,
both,
yeah.
we just
Okay.
released the health one.
All right.
And,
So,
This
you
is-
need to
this
go-
is not product pitch
just,
video,
hold on,
Daniel.
just search Kripalani.
Ocean House Media.
Ocean House. Okay,
Media.
go
Ocean House Media.
in
That's
there.
right.
And
we
beauty
can leave
everywhere.
it
Okay.
there, yeah.
Go into the App Store, and I think if you want to kind of
Right.
shortcut the extensive library that
Yeah.
the Kripalani family
Yeah.
has served, search in the App Store under Ocean House Media and Beauty Everywhere.
Here's the thing, Daniel. It's not about the box, the app, the whatever. What we're trying to do is inspire people to do these types of actions and things in their own life, right? Everyone has their own way to do it, right? Everyone has access to a audio recorder on their phone, a video recorder on their phone. We happen to have the ability to make apps. Other people can write books. Like, it doesn't matter. But the question is, when it comes to legacy, the question is, when do you start and how much are you gonna leave? And I think I have a belief that oftentimes people don't think about it for too long. And my belief is that legacy is like a snowball. And it starts small when you start. And the earlier you start, the bigger the snowball can get.
It's like the stock market.
Right? It's just, it has a
Yeah,
compound interest effect. And so, yes, it's great if people download the apps, buy the box, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's not what it's about. What it's about is it's about inspiring people, which I wasn't even going to do this, but it's just how much I have it in my core. Like, I carry this rock in my pocket all day, every day.
Yeah.
I've had this in my pocket every day since the second date I had with
Yeah.
Karen.
So the only
Right?
Yeah.
I gave this to him on our second date, and literally he has carried it in his pocket our entire 15 years.
It's about intention,
Yes, okay,
Daniel.
so-
It's intention.
So I'm a great believer in both and. Okay, so I
Yes.
want to say that everything I agree
Yes.
with what you've said, that it's
Yeah.
actually about inspiring others to be their great selves.
Yeah.
And the and
Yes.
is you've got the rock in your pocket.
Yeah.
Allow people to be inspired by the way you are expressing it itself.
Sure.
So it's a both and. I want you
Yeah.
to know that can coexist.
Yeah.
So in transition.
Yes. Transition.
Okay, the fourth principle is about living
A healthy life.
Healthy life.
Yeah.
And I think we can transition
Yeah.
before that, because there's a very big arc of the story
Yes,
about
yep.
what does it mean
Yep,
to
yep,
optimize
yep.
Yeah.
health in conventional medicine, integrative medicine.
Just do it.
Just
is
do
all
it.
it is.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Just do it. Actually,
Drink your green drinks.
I think that's a Nike product placement.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Like they need more marketing.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the last principle is
Gratitude.
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 And can you set Karen up
I can.
to share the story about gratitude?
I
And then
will.
we will wrap this.
Yes.
We will wrap this whole thing with gratitude.
So we oftentimes hear that it's about having gratitude and gratitude for everything in life, and that's really hard. That's really hard. I mean, Sue, tell me, it is hard to have gratitude for everything. And after a couple of years, Karen came to a place of gratitude even for the things that were the hardest. And I'm gonna pass to her, because this is the magical part of the story, and this is part of what transformed our family.
So I was sitting in meditation, and in the past I was always trying to visualize the black spot in my brain getting out, this bad, almost evil thing to get out of my head. And I was in meditation, and all of a sudden I had this magical aha moment where I saw the tumor as a golden nugget, illuminating my brain, my mind, illuminating my mind. And I fell madly in love with it. And I realized this tumor is a part of me, which is God, is a part of God. And so why am I being so mean to God? And why do I want God out? And why do I see God as this black, horrible, evil mass? It's not. It's me. I have chills talking about it. It's this beautiful treasure, this golden nugget that is so valuable, and I fell madly in love with it. And that was like when everything turned. Everything changed for me. All of a sudden, I was feeling better. I was able to get off my meds soon after that.
Yeah.
And yes, I have to remind myself every now and then, like if I get symptoms every now, I'm very empathetic, so I hear about what's going on with you, and literally the first week that I heard, I was all having symptoms again, because I take on that energy of other people, and so I have to really go back to the love, the loving of my nerves, the loving of the tumor, and it does magically like take the symptoms away, take that burning and that tingling out of my face, and so I find such beauty in that. And I've owned the URL beautyeverywhere.com for like over 10 years now, I think, maybe even 15 years
14,
since
15.
we first got married. And I never knew what it was in the beginning. I was into photography. Was it a photography website? What was it? And when this all happened, and I realized how much beauty is here, like there's so much love and beauty in every moment, no matter how challenging or hard. Somebody might say it's terrible to be diagnosed with a brain tumor, but wow, what a blessing. And so to have that perspective that there's beauty in a brain tumor has completely shifted and changed my life, and that's become our business, and seeing beauty in everything, in every situation, and every person, I find has really helped me in my healing. You know, selfishly, it's helped me, and so I really believe that it's a matter of perspective, of changing that perception. I deal with a little one who can get very irritated at simple things, and I see myself in her, and I know that, and I still do it, but I know that I can get upset by little things. My father would always say, don't sweat the small stuff. And so this shift in perspective helps me go, oh wow, that's really nothing, and actually there's something really beautiful with whatever it may be, my angst about it, or the situation itself. And I'm trying to teach my daughter, you know what, this is beautiful. You don't have to be, you don't have to see it in a negative way. So, and then I did want to share one thing about the different modalities that I do, and one of them is breath work. I really believe in the power of the breath and oxygenating the body. And I was doing a walking meditation. Dr. Joe Dispenza has been really helpful with my healing. And I've been doing a walking meditation around this beautiful path. And I had just returned from one of his retreats, and I'm doing this. I come up here to the end of my path, and I love to stand out here on this cliff and take it all in. And there's a part where you're just doing a standing meditation, and I've got my eyes closed. I'm facing this beautiful view, and the meditation ends, and I'm in tears like normal. And I open up my eyes, and I look down, and people call me KK for Karen Kripalani, so my friends call me KK. And purple is a very spiritual color for me. It connects me to the divine. I look down, and there is literally, this was a year ago, but there was a huge pool full of purple rocks, hundreds of them, with K on every single one of them. And
Can you hold that up a little bit, just
I'll send you the, is it too dark?
Yeah, no, that's...
I'll send you the picture of what it looked like when I first saw it. I would love you to take one of these rocks as a reminder, because I feel like they're mine. I feel like they were, I had a friend with me, and she said, those rocks were made for you. God gave those to you. He delivered those rocks to you. So I have a couple of these in my house, and I love to visit these rocks, and I believe that it was telling me that I'm on the right path, and KK rocks.
KK rocks.
KK
rocks. KK rocks.
So it was a beautiful synchronicity from the divine.
Well, that seems
God
like...
winks.
Well, God winks. So that seems like a drop the mic moment.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to top that.
Good.
But Sue...
I feel like
and
you need to be in this picture with us.
Okay,
Come.
around?
okay. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
That's okay. There we go. Susie, come in, baby, and just let's be all here together. And I hope that's all going to work out.
Yeah.
And it's just been like, it's just been the joy of joy. I feel so blessed for our friendship and this ability to have an ongoing journey together where we can make sense of our past and current and future experiences and share this with the world. And
100%.
I couldn't feel more blessed.
And we're here for you guys for every step of the way.
Yeah.
And I know that you, of all people, are meant to overcome this.
Yeah.
Like,
I have the same belief.
It's
And so here's this part of the story. And so while we're here for each other, we're also here for you.
Yeah.
We're also here for you. And if this story inspires you, this collective story, there's now a density of stories over here. Yeah. It's not my story. It's our collective stories together.
Yeah.
And I hope this has blessed you. And if I have the happy, I said happy ending, which on one of my videos
Wait.
before, I said,
Not
but
what you mean.
yeah, exactly. But if I have a good outcome, and by
When?
the way,
When?
well,
language.
but I want to say, and let me just say, because I'm open to whatever the outcome is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
so
your soul's journey, your soul might want to move on and
Exactly.
leave this beautiful
Yeah.
lesson in that way. So
yeah.
it's all
So
perfect.
if it's in my destiny to
Yeah.
actually be, the one or two, I don't know if there's been any glioblastoma
There have.
cures.
there have.
Oh, well, I
Yes.
want to hear about
Yes.
that. So, okay, so if I am in that select membership,
Yeah.
it would be wonderful, because if that gives you hope on your journey. But I also want you to know, if that's not in my cards, I want you to know that I'm okay, that I will let my flesh melt off my bones, because I'm already living in collective loving spirit, and that's where our family is connected. That's where I'm connected to you all, and that's where you'll always find me, with our ancestors,
Yeah.
with your dad,
Yeah.
with your friend that
Yeah,
passed
TJ.
on,
Yeah.
right,
TJ.
TJ, with all of your family that's passed on. We're all forever connected, and so just wishing you lots of love and wishing you a blessed day.
All
Lots
right.
of beauty everywhere.
Lots of beauty everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, bye. Perfect.
Love, 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 love.
Love, love, love.
Love, love.